So we have Cash in the bottom left. And Happy in the top right. Now the resources should be working correctly as well. Yes, they are. Our first map. On a new map, indeed it is. Northern Isles has been introduced into the ladder map pool and into the tournament map scene as well. Not too recently. I think it was, for WGL, right? For the latest WGL the first time. So this one really hasn't been out for too long, but has been well received. I think most people are pretty satisfied with this map. Concealed Hill, I hear more doubtful voices about. But yeah, Northern Isles. I think it's a pretty good one. Starting out with the Farseer here is Cash and no Barracks tech here. Super fast. Barracks will be coming later on added. It's not going to be a rush towards Windriders. Well, it is going to be a rush towards Windriders most likely, but not without any grunts. He's going to be adding a few of them in here as well. Ted Fiend build order is not the case. This is what we see from the Chinese players all the time. Ted Fiend build order means fast DK late fiends. Happy is the pretty much sole top undead nowadays who still goes for fast fiends, late DK. Means of course you're gonna have an easier time creeping, as with the Ted Fiend build order you're gonna be relying on Death Knight solo to creep, whereas with that fiends are gonna be available immediately. We have a 20 supply tech here from the undead. Pretty early on. Not even 3 ghouls yet, and the Farseer looking for some economy, harassment. Oh my god, he's surrounded? He got surrounded immediately with the 1 ghoul and the DK, and, well, he's stuck now. He doesn't have level 2. He doesn't have Chain Lightning, so these Acolytes were never really in trouble. And now that TP is gone for a long time, possibly gone forever. Could be dangerous later on into the game for the Farseer, who is a rather squishy hero, of course. Good start for Happy. And now with the narrow tower up, as he decided to upgrade it only after the tech. A little bit greedy, but he got away with it, no problem. The Farseer is going to have a very difficult time to get into the space. Because if he's here, you might get slowed down, and a couple of ghouls could just surround him. And with this being Happy, it's not even too unlikely. So Farseer seem to be wasting quite a bit of time. First, popping out of the altar, moving across the map, creeping only a single camp for a tiny bit of experience, then walking back to the undead main, then back to his side. Not getting much done of anything, only level 2, whereas Happy is getting, well, not too close to level 3, but he's on his way there. Last hit goes to the undead here as well. Coil possibly a slight bit early, but in time. Let's talk about the items here. Greater Mana, one of the best drop on the entire map, an amazingly powerful item. The Rune Bracers, not so much. Against Chain Lightning, well, it does a little, but Chain Lightning isn't really going to be the biggest of threats, especially against heroes. Second hero of choice is the Shadow Hunter. This is pretty much exactly the same that we saw earlier on today in the WGL qualifier. Who played it again? It was Lin versus 120, right? It was this map as well. Yep, it was. It was, exactly. 120 there did go for the Ted Fiends and decided to tech very greedily on 2 or maybe 3 fiends it was against the Windrider play. Which is going to be coming in here as well, right? Yep, there we go. Double Bestiary, Windriders. Only the single grunt here for a bit more normal damage. And when you have a Shadow Hunter out like this, you really want to find early fiend pickoffs with the Hex. That might be a doable thing for you. When you play TC along with the Farseer, you want to intensify on the creeping aspect of things more because the TC scales so well with levels. By no means is the Shadow Hunter not a hero that scales well with levels, but the Farseer, not necessarily. Not all that well. Not as well as the undead heroes anyways. As a DK is level 3 already, has that important level 2 coil, the Lich coming in, and the web immediately. Yeah, I think this is the right counterplay. Earlier today, 120 I think was being too greedy, was not going for the right build. Happy is going for the Lich right away, Slaughterhouse right away, and Web immediately, delaying his tier 3. This is the most important thing. Web is still on the work, so perhaps a bit overzealous by Happy being out on the map without Web upgrade. Coil coming in just barely in time, but the scroll of speed is over, and the web is done, and now two fiends are, or two Wind Riders rather, are webbed to the ground. Not even this fiend is gonna die. And he just picks off the two Wind Riders immediately. And takes no damage. Had to use the greater mana potion for this, so that one is gone, but fiends are all still left standing. Statue is gonna start coming out kind of soon. More fiends are being added, and now, what does Cash do? Level 2 Farseer only, down with two Wind Riders. And when you play Wind Riders, you really, it's kind of like, what to call it? It's a tempo strategy. You can't really fall behind. You have to accumulating more and more Wind Riders, more and more, and then suddenly you snap, or you go for the attack and you break his neck or at least cripple him. But you really can't afford to fall behind. Usually. And especially against Happy, that is not a good idea. But Farseer here continuing to creep, finding one of the best items. Possibly the best item here he could have found. On the entire map even, if it all comes down to one engagement. If he uses the Wand of the Wind well, along with Hex, this DK is going to be disabled forever. And with that, perhaps he can find those massive numbers of Fiend kills that he desperately needs. Fiends counter the Wind Riders. The only way you can really win a fight is by having the numbers in your favor and trying to snowball and, with the help of the disable of the heroes, take out target after target. Happy though now seems to be moving comfortably in the middle of the map, even slightly on his opponent's side. And Cash here seems to still be reeling from that first attack. The Shadowhunter aggression did not work out at all. Not even a single Fiend kill. This is absolutely insane. Whenever I get caught by a mid-game attack like that, I usually lose two Fiends myself, but not Happy. Continuing to creep. Getting closer to level 4 DK. Whatever skill point he goes for is going to be very helpful. Death Pact for defense, or Aura level 2 for the increased movement speed and kite ability. Meeting the Orc player here again, and here we go. We see the Wand of the Wind coming in. Hex on the Fiend, so that one slowed down, and he gets the kill. Wand of the Wind is ready again. Use it quickly enough so the coil couldn't be used. Cash is making excellent use of this item. It seems to be bringing him back into the game, as again, the DK is disabled. Coil could not be used, but that was the last Wand of the Wind. So now, finally, Happy can make use of his coils again. Has to go for the Lich right away. Meaning that the next Fiend is going to be falling. Man, that Wand of the Wind really brought him back into this game. But now we have Web. Now there's no more disable. But Happy decides to TP out after one more Wind Rider kill. Double level ups for him and keeps the Fiend alive as well. So good comeback into this game by Cash. Taking what the Warcraft gods gave him. That item drop and using it absolutely perfectly. Not allowing a single coil there to be used. Also using the Hex on the Fiend for the slow. Really, really well done by him. And with that, he should be back into this game. But the issue is the undead heroes here are still very strong. Level 4 and level 3. And now going for the Red Camp himself is Happy. Tier 3, not done yet. And I think that was the right call. Against Wind Riders in the mid-game stages, even moving towards the early late-game stages, you don't really need the damage of the orb. The Fiends have enough. It's about having the numbers, having 4 or 5 plus Fiends. And the statues and so on. Oh wow, the Ancient Django, really nice. For even more movement speed. Yeah, he has 2 levels in Aura, 2 points in Aura. And now the Ancient Django as well. That's gonna make it plus 30% movement speed, which is a lot of movement speed. Farseer, the Crystal Ball and the Talisman, some really subpar items. Top left, Expose coming up, but scouted immediately by a skeleton. Takes it out, I wanted to say. That doesn't make sense. Skeletons aren't that strong. But he knows about it now, and oh my god, look at the speed of these Fiends. That's so much faster than usual! And the fuzz is actually dropping super low. He doesn't have a scroll of speed anymore. And remember when I said how strong these heroes are? Well, we get a chance to see it right here. Webs coming down, Fiends being kited. They're so fast. It's unbelievable. They're much faster than the Wind Riders even. So hard to find the connections, to find the kills. But the Farseer here, is he gonna get Nova'd again? That might be his end. He's so close to dying. Chain Lightning at least gets him 1 kill, but I think that was the first one. Silence as well. We have a Dark Ranger joining the battle here as Happy is just completely out-microing this GG. And the Wind Riders defeated by the Fiends, the way it's supposed to be. Cash just never... That's not true. I want to say never got that strategy off the ground. He was falling behind early in the mid-game, but that Wand of the Wind really got him back into it. But once it was gone, just didn't stand a chance anymore. Good kiting there by Happy, and Cash testing the waters, you know, going for a bit of a cheesy strat, if you want to call it that, seeing if Happy was ready for it, and yeah, Happy was certainly ready for this. Not the first time he's going to be encountering that one. Thank you very much to Rata Tazonk and Dan Boyd for the subs. Dan Boyd even with the 17 months. Thank you guys very much. So it might be best of 7, actually. No, it's best of 5. I'm pretty sure. Remo, are you going outside tonight to party? No, not tonight. I gotta work fairly early tomorrow. And I'm gonna have 2 days of carnival. And I think that's enough. I don't want to have more. Otherwise, I'm gonna be, yeah, too fucked up for too many times. But yes, Saturday after work and Monday is gonna be the big carnival days for me. I wanted to skip out on carnival this year, but I got caught by the enthusiasm of, you know, the city. Everybody's so excited for it. Living here in Mainz, that's one of the 2 carnival capitals of Germany. So yeah, gonna be doing a bit of dress up and nonsense next coming days. Looking forward to it. Happy here with the lead now, which I assume many people were expecting. And here we have the confirmation. Yes, it is best of 5. That's what I thought. So last refuge, second map. Really unusual for orcs to choose this one, isn't it? Normally always considered a very good undead map. You have safe creep camps around your main, which is very favorable for undead because they're not really strong until tier 3. When you fall behind on other maps, say Amazonia for example, and you have a tough time creeping later on because you are fairly weak, the orc can make really great take advantage of this, abuse it to a certain extent. But here, you should always be able to find your creeps and to level up, and this is pretty much what Undead is all about. Get your tier 3, get your 50, 60, 70 army, and get strong hero levels, and then you're in strong shape. Different opening this time around by Happy. We have the Tet Fiend build order with the fast DK and the late Fiends. Whereas over on the Orcish side of things, it's a Blade Master. Last refuge, very good to stack Blade Masters on. Plenty of claws to be found. Also some big creeps to be sniped, like the Ogre Lord here or the Ogre Magi at the Merchants. The standard meta, by the way, in this matchup is both players rushing tier 3 pretty much, being passive and creeping until tier 3, but then the action erupts because there's going to be a lot of battling going on for the big camps, like the red ones over here. There the advantage will lie with the orcs being able to drag out the creeps and snares around them easily, snipe the big item, perhaps even far before tier 3. And yeah, Blade, Shadowhunter, TC would be the norm. And on the undead side, DK, Lich, and Dark Ranger pretty much always. In China we're seeing more and more Dreadlord, but I think that's still a rarity in Europe. Especially for Happy. I don't think Happy gets inspired too much by other players. I think Happy's like, yep, I have my style and I think this is the best, I'm gonna stick with it. Can't really imagine Happy going like through replays of, I don't know, WFZ, Lucifer 120, And looking for inspiration there. Blade Master coming over, looking for some steals, and he's got exactly the right read. Oh, this could be plenty of experience for him. But actually he's going for the skeletons first. Seems like the Windwalk was running out. Oh, and almost gives up that last hit to the Blade Master. Lots of mana already used on this DK. Sentry Ward found, Sentry Ward placed. Wait, isn't this tech a little late? No. For some reason I felt it should have been further along, but actually still decently far ahead of the Undead's tech. One Burrow tech versus one Ziggurat tech. This time there is the safety Nerub in the main. Doesn't want to deal with Blade Master harassment. Onto the Acolytes. Blade now who actually goes for the dust, specifically to de-ward here in the middle to get rid of the sentry. And was able to do that as well. Grunt moving into range to get ensnared here. Is that a bait? I think that was an intentional bait to buy time for the Blade Master to come in. But the Blade is not revealing himself. Staying invisible, wanting to go for the Ogre Magi over here. Cash's early game movements and attempts here haven't seemed to be too effective. He crept this one, moved over, disrupted this a little bit, but only killed a couple of skeletons. After which he tried to do something here, wasn't successful. Now getting the Ogre Magi finally, but that's not even level 2 for him. But at least he's got a very nice inventory to make up for this. Double Circlet and the Claws, certainly. He's gonna take those gladly. Happy's gonna be supply stuck here. He's at 26 out of 30 supply, so the Lich might be delayed unless he decides to suicide this Acolyte. Who's first gonna be scouting what's going on in the main base. Cash not gonna be supply stuck, he's gonna be able to go for the second hero here. Sentry Ward once again placed in the middle. DK finding the grunts. And seems like Blade Master was looking for the Death Knight as well. Would love to get a single skeleton, that's level 2 for him. Oh, can he block a Fiend here? Can he maybe get a 4 units around? Really hard to do. Oh, and he's not even giving him the skeletons. Not easily, at least. Thank you very much, Alexander Karpovich. €2, he says, for improving my English skills. And GG Byte with the $5. Good comments, thanks. Thank you guys very much. Did he hit the sentry again? No, this time not. He tried to go for the sentry reveal once again with the dust, but he missed it. Just barely. It's gonna give Happy plenty of information. Throughout the rest of the game, pretty much. Blade is still only level 1. This is a big problem. Ideally, you want to be level 3 Blade pretty early on in the mid-game. So then with the level 2 Windwalker, you can stalk the Undead easily and be able to solo creep with your Shadow. Who is the second hero now? Tier 3 is coming. Bestiary, this is pretty much the cookie cutter standard build for Orcs nowadays against Undead. Whereas over in the Undead main, Lich is coming, Slaughterhouse is coming, as well as the tech. The Acolyte was suicided somewhere along the road. Acolyte number 6, that is. A lot of less experienced Orc players try to be aggressive with the Shadow Hunter, try to look for kills. But that's very unlikely to be successful if the other is playing around properly with the Lich and so on. And going for the Nova first on the Blade Master. Cannot really get this kill though. That was a little ambitious. And actually with that Nova first pickup, suddenly potential for aggression does open up. But it's dangerous, because the Shadow Hunter needs to be level 3 in the late game. Late game being when we have tier 3 unlocked, 3rd heroes online, and 50 supply, kind of. That's one of the advantages for Undead. Lich only needs level 2 in the late game to be viable, to be where he's supposed to be. Shadow Hunter needs level 3, so it's gonna be... It should be prioritized to get the experience on the Shadow if he can. Looking for a possible creep drag up here at the laboratory, but as he can't find it, he's going to be going for a bit of his own creeping here. Probably wasn't expecting a creep drag though. The Undead really has a tough time creeping this camp, a very tough time actually, before tier 3. So probably just looking for those creeps here, taking them away from the opponent, that's always a good move. Finding the Ankh, not too bad. Survivability for the Blade Master, always welcome. Coil Nova is of course a big danger. Battle Giant Strength, kind of going in the same direction. It's more survivability, also not too bad, but considering how big of a camp this is and what other drops it could be, this item isn't all that grand, to be frank. Another camp being stolen by Cash. We're not having a super flashy early and mid game, not too many kills happening. None, in fact. Not a single unit has died so far. But Cash is getting a lot of camps away from his opponent, which is a big deal. And now Happy is going to be left with the scraps here. No item to be picked up, only 2 creeps. 2 rather big creeps, I guess. But now he's tier 3. Now he's got the orb, and this is where Undead really starts to reach its full potential. Levels here very even between the Orc heroes. I guess that means he must have found a Tome of Experience. Otherwise this Shadow Hunter should be further away, I think. Sentry Ward sees him. Is he going to be in time with the Hex? Doesn't even need it. He gets the last hit, and that's a level 3. And we'll let it be for now. Scroll the Beast being found here as well. Could be good, but it could also be dispelled by a Destroyer. You never know as the Orc player, but we know. We can check the main. A Destroyer form upgrade is coming in indeed. As well as a Temple of the Damned, but now the Speed Scroll move is coming in. Shadowhunter in low HP range already, has to be a little bit careful. Big Stomp coming in, Throw the Beast also being used. One Fiend will be killed, but that's all. TP, of course, also used. But if you can trade a Fiend, a single one, for Scroll the Beast, I don't even think that's too bad. Scroll the Beast, very dangerous. So much bonus damage now on this Orc army. With the Kodo Beast as well. Having the upgraded Kodo aura already. Wow, that was very fast. Double level 3 heroes for the Orc. Ideally, he would like to be at 4, 3, 2. And then he would really feel comfortable. And of course, anything higher is even better. Happy moving in again. 43 supply only for him. Down by 2. Not too much, of course. Oh, he wants to get this Ogre Lord. A few more hits will do it, but he can't actually get it. Has to re-engage into the fight. Silence coming in. TC can't storm for the time being. Going for the statues right away. Those are the most important to get rid of. Immediately going for the TC kill, and he falls as the heal wave was on cooldown. Kodo Beast gets to devour and gets to walk away. Coil following that one. Happy's gonna get his Fiend back as he finds the kill, but the statues for him are gone. But the Fiends can use their burrow. Seems like Cash forgot about the dust, actually. A rare mistake, but even to him those will happen. So many misses from the Blade Master. Finally redeems himself with a critical strike. He's gonna take out that Banshee almost. Frost Armor won't help here, as it seems, as the Blade can follow up with the Purges and gets those kills. Ghouls even coming into this battle. Super scrappy fight now. We're left with basically nothing. Greater mana used on the Shadow. More healing from his side. But easily kiteable now is the Blade Master with the Frost Armor being used over and over. That being said though, Lich is out of mana for now. But the Shadow needs to be careful. 140 HP is the kill threshold of a single coil. And still there's no detection. Still no dust of appearance. Certainly a blunder. We have the Purge coming in against the Dark Ranger. A few more crits will do it. He gets that kill actually with a well-timed hex, but the Shadow may have to pay for it. 19 HP, super close. TC back already, level 1 hero only. Cash is bloodthirsty, looking for the kill. Can he get the stomp and the damage? Oh, he missed it. He could have found the stomp right there. Can he still get it? No. He had that opportunity there for a second, but was busy, perhaps, looking somewhere else. Lich gets away. Even with the stomp, that wouldn't have been a surefire kill. In fact, he probably wouldn't have died with the DK still having the mana for the coil. Pretty even fight though, I think. Happy left with 40. Cash left with 42 supply. Cash would have loved to take a favorable engagement here, get a lead in the game, and then cement it even further with a tiny Great Hall purchase after. But he can't really do that. He's certainly not that far ahead. He's not gonna make the mistake of misjudging the situation. Blade Master didn't even heal up yet, but he's got that Ankh of Reincarnation, and he's got that info for the rest of the army. He's stealing the claws, actually. Took him away from Happy here. Right out of his hands. And he's going in again. We don't have a Dark Ranger here yet. Oh, actually, she's arriving just barely in time. Banshee being taken out immediately. He's focusing on the blade, but there is an Ankh, and Cash is going to gladly give that one up. He's going to be back in just a second. TC in the front. Once again getting focused pretty heavily, but he's got a big stomp lining it up. And going for the backline there easily. Instead, Happy decided to go for the Shadow. Can't quite get that kill, though. Fiends, 3 still on the battlefield, Stomp coming in, and still no detection. Cash still didn't bring any. And now the TC once again finds himself in trouble. May have to sacrifice himself to the creeps. Coming back in, weaving back out. Playing a bit here with Happy. Third hero down again. He can afford to lose this one, but not the Shadow Hunter. And that one will survive. Only the heroes left for Happy, but Happy with heroes is always scary. 36 supply for him, it may be only, but he might be able to get more kills. Chasing after the army here. As more headhunters will be falling. This Lich doesn't have too many damage boosting items, but he's got some. Those claws are helping. 38 supply for Happy. 45 for Cash. He has to get through this shop. Go for the invul and the dust, for goodness sake. Blade Master. Can he get this last hit? Nope, there is a dust here now on him. And with that, we'll have to get out of this. Happy not even using his mana on him to scare him away. The Coil Nova certainly would have forced him away. Oh, actually? No, wait. He called something else. Destroyer or something. Cloak of Flames from the Ogre Lord. Giving it over to the DK. Making him a bit of a damage threat now as well. Normally, though, the DK can't stand in the middle of everything too easily. Then he's going to drop too low. But he's level almost 4 here. And with Death Pact coming in, if he goes for that, he's going to be becoming more tanky. Quite a bit more tanky. And if I remember right, I think Happy does favor Death Pact over Aura on level 4. Against Orc, that is. Still no dust on Cash. He got an invul, though. That's important. Sold it away from Happy side, I think. This TC especially is not doing much. Ring of Protection even kept on the Shadow. Intentional must be, I guess. More important it seems to be for the Orc here to keep the second hero instead of the third alive. And from the red camp he finds the Cadgus pipe. Absolutely amazing. I didn't even see what Happy got actually. What did he get? I'm sorry, I missed it. It's not this one right now. Must not have been so good as he sells it. At the red camp they meet again, just like it was on the other side of the map. And in we go. Silence being used on the TC here perfectly in time. Is he going to be focusing him in again? Certainly is with the coil and the Nova, and the TC is dead again. Not enough potions. Frenzy Ghouls here actually joining the battlefield, going for the Blade Master, forcing him into that one invul that he had. Kodos get the Devour off, but it's only Ghouls. He can afford to give up some of those, I guess. Skeleton's still in the middle of everything. Now, finally, the Blade Master is going for the back line of statues, which you always want to be going for first. He takes out one, he takes out two, and that's that. But what about the Headhunters? As they're being chased down by these ghouls, they're so effective, especially in these scrappy engagements. The smaller the armies get, the better the ghouls become. And more of the Headhunters, Berserkers that is, are falling, and some of them are turning back into skeletons as the Dark Ranger's providing the Dark Arrow, and now the chase is on again. There's no scroll of speed here anymore. Cash is always going for those offensive scrolls of speed, and if he's losing the fight, he ends up regretting them somewhat. The Kodo would be a big pickup. Only a ghoul to be gained back, but it's still a big unit taken out from the opponent. Cash re-engaging, being up by only 1 supply, but skeletons don't count, and skeletons aren't actually even too bad here. Timely Purge, getting rid of the Frost Armor. Hex a little bit too late. So the coil comes off, the Dark Ranger's safe. Same cannot be said for the Kodo Beast, as this one will die. The ghoul comes back. Oh my god, he dodges the ensnare with the burrow. So quick. With his micromanagement, isn't he? This is where Happy always shines, and he's having a strong display of it again. And even behind this, I didn't even see it until now, an expansion for the undead. But also kind of for Cash. 2 towers are up, and maybe now he can go for that greedy tiny Great Hall. Is this going to turn into a 2 base versus 2 base game? He's pretty much got the resources. There we go. Blade Master though. Can he cancel this? He should be able to. Going for the Acolyte first, and then the Haunted next. Is this the game-winning move? Oh, dude, this is neck and neck, this game. I like it. Oh, the peons are running into the creeps! Whoops! But I guess he can just creep it instead. Oh, but now the undead is coming in. This is not the timing that Cash is looking for. Some of his units are slowed. If only those peons hadn't woken up the creeps. But it's 2 towers. This is a well-fortified position. Has to go for the first heal wave, just for this Headhunter, basically. But he's gonna get the Rock Golem and a big item. Does he need a big one here? Valeria's Flute. Not too bad, not too great. It's not like he has that much ranged army. Oh my god, the Nova just executes that Raider with the help of the Coil. 49 supply now for Happy, 44 for Cash. He's got that massive income, but he can't make use of it yet. He has barely any army. Happy, if he wants to, can look for the reinforcements coming in from the main. Those should be easy pickoffs. in the back. Again, expansion attempt coming up. Blade Master knows about this, though. He's going to go for the cancel up here, but that means he's going to be missing for quite a long time in the south. And Cash is trying to consolidate his forces. Level 4 Shadow, leaving some of his army behind. Whoops. And now Happy is going in for the towers. Once these towers fall, it's going to be much easier to crack this position. He's got so much normal damage, by the way, from the skeletons as well as the ghouls. Here we go. Cash is coming in, trying to hold his expansion, going for the Banshee right away, and he takes him out, all of them. And there's only one curse on this army. The TC is ready for the perfect stomp, but actually he's silenced. Blade Master now coming in, finally. A little bit late, but might be in time. The stomp is ready, looking for the big one. Hits a couple of the ghouls, but not the heroes. They are still standing strong, and so many skeletons still left. The raiders have to be careful, have to keep on running away. Can't go into the real thick of things in this engagement. Stomp. This one was a big one, hitting pretty much all of the ghouls. One of them after the next being taken out. Happy is running from target to target. Good kiting here being done by Cash for once. It's the Orc who's running away from the ghouls, actually. The statues, those are the backbone of the undead army. Once the region is gone, it's going to be much easier to deal with this. Even Wind Riders now coming in, and there doesn't seem to be any web. Cash now with a firm hold on this game until maybe he loses the Shadow Hunter, but he's got that scroll of speed to run away after the first nuke attempt. The first of possibly many, because there's more spells to be used. Stomp coming in, not in time to kill that fiend again. It's the Burrow, saving the fiends over and over. But now the healer of the Orc is gone. Can Happy do this with only his heroes? I've seen him doing it plenty of times, so this is far from over, guys. He's at 50 supply still. Lots of reinforcements must be coming from the main. Shadowhunter with more mana from his shop. Clarity as well as mana potion, but the Coil Nova takes him out as the heal wave was on cooldown, and now the healer is gone. And now Happy can just aim for this Blade Master if he wants to, or go for the units instead, of course. He has the Frost Armor still to keep this Blade Master controlled pretty damn well. He's going for the Kodo instead. And that one, with a few more coils, will certainly fall, but needs that coil instead now. On the Dark Ranger, there's one more stomp available from the TC. Has to be a big one here if he wants to turn this around. The Blade Master just can't connect with his damage. He's got this amazing inventory. He's getting a timely stomp, though. He misses the crit, thanks to the Purge. And the DK doesn't have the Death Pact. Remember, he actually gets the kill. I thought Happy kind of had this game, but not so quick. Level 5 for the Blade Master, level 3 for the TC, and suddenly these guys are super strong. And without the DK, can he still do this? Somehow, devouring one of his own units here for more mana. The Lich now with one coil, one Nova that is left. Dark Ranger, so low HP, has to run away, but guess what? The Expo's up. Expo's up now for both players. This Blade Master is just running rampant, my goodness. There's a couple of curses here to control him, but Happy has to be careful. Jesus Christ. Barely any mana left on the undead side, but he's coming back in. Not too healthy either, by the way. The stomp a little bit too late. Blade Master dropping lower. Has to go for that invul soon. Pops it now. Didn't know if there might be a Nova coming in with the help of Dark Ritual. But this invul only lasts 7 seconds. He really didn't do much with it. And there's the level up. He has to run away. Windwalk! Jesus Christ. He's revealed! He was revealed! No way! He stayed in there way too long. Whew. After one hell of an intense game there. A fight that stretched on forever. Only the heroes left in the end for Happy for long stages of that fight. But if they're strong, man, undead heroes, they can work wonders, I'm telling you. Take a chill pill, resubbing for 14 months. Thank you very much. And now... the 2-0 lead already for Happy. This was, well, we had a long game there, but still feels kind of fast. That was so close, though, that last game. The first one, you know, Wind Rider cheese, didn't work out. Rather one-sided affair. But... LR proving to live up to the hype of this game, of this show match. So yeah, we're all hoping for this not to be a quick 3-0. Prize money, by the way, is $100 for first and $50 for second. And our third map will be Amazonia. Alright, smallest map we have in the pool. Problematic to level up second and third heroes here. Especially third heroes. Which can be troublesome for Orc. Especially the Shadow absolutely needs level 3. I keep coming back to this point, I know, but it's true, and it's so important. And also the TC level 1 isn't really all that strong, whereas a Dark Ranger level 1 is already really good. And she scales very well with levels in the late game also. Are there going to be any games after this match? No. Just this show match. We had more games earlier today. In fact, they're already up on our YouTube from the first couple of WGL qualifier matches. Check those out if you're thirsty for even more Warcraft content. Cash in the top right, Happy in the bottom left. Once again, going for the fast Fiend build. Something that you certainly wouldn't see from Chinese or Korean players on this map. This is a pretty good fast DK map because you can kill the sheep here. Then you can kill this camp with only DK and skeletons. And then if you're feeling adventurous, you can even go over here and kill some of this. Or just go back to the main. Creep up here to level 2, but not Happy. He's gonna be going with the fast Fiends, delaying his hero here. What is the hero of choice for Cash? Farseer again. Wow, really? Not the super fast tier 2 tech though, not the Wind Rider Rush, which I think is the better call. Happy's micro is just too on point, he knows too well how to play against this. So, if we see this over on the Netty servers, played by Lin and Focus and Fly, this usually means Farseer into fairly fast tech, into 3 grunts, into creeping the expo with a TC, into expanding, and then mass tier 2 production. That's what happens in WGL qualifiers. But how does Cash play it? Cash is the best Orc in Europe. I wonder if I want to follow up with without question with that statement. I think so. What do you guys think? Is there anybody who's on the heels of Cash, who's like on the brink of overtaking him? I don't think so. I think Cash by far the best Orc in Europe. And so yeah, a lot of European players try to take inspiration from him as well. Nice lightning shield creep here. Doing it perfectly so far. Denying none of the experience, finding the circlet as well. Not too bad at all for the Farseer. And the Wolves being sent over very quickly for a bit of harassment. It's gonna slow down Happy. He's creeping. He's gonna be forced to deal with these if he sends the Wolves all the way over here into this corner. It's even really annoying because the Fiends can't reach him. It's gonna be up to the Skeletons, but he doesn't want to give up any experience, so resummons the Wolves over here. He is healing up now. Didn't skip the shop, didn't skip the barracks. But it was a 1 burrow tech after all. So still pretty fast, certainly quite a bit faster than Happy is. Who is moving away from his base to creep. But now is certainly going to have to return, isn't he? As he sees the Farseer entering. There's no chain lightning here, otherwise this would be really scary actually. Going for the scroll of speed anyways, hoping for a kill. He just needs 1 kill. Just 1 single skeleton kill and then he's level 2. Happy, where is he? He's pretty far away. I think he's gonna get this one. Boom, there we go. Happy has to cancel the tech. And I am amazed that Happy went out into the middle of the map despite the fact that he knew that it was a Farseer when he didn't even have a Nerub. Was that perhaps a bit of overconfidence? It did look like it a little bit, if you ask me. Now he's got the resources again. Tech should be coming in any second. But the DK now doesn't have the aura, making these Fiends way more vulnerable. Especially the Wolves have an easy time chasing them down. Happy thinking about running after that grunt for the kill, but that would just take way too much and also expose those Fiends over here. Here we go, tech is happening, but this is going to be far behind. Whoa! That's like 80% of a tech behind. That is absolutely massive. If Cash wants to go for Shadow Hunter here again and be aggressive, there's a certain opening in this game. The Lich is going to be so late. And he's going to have quite a bit of damage here as well. He's going to have the Chain Lightning, whoa, which is being used against the skeletons. As well as a couple of grunts for normal damage, as well as Hex coming in if he does go for that hero. But no, TC it is, and Bestiary and Warmill. Huh. Alright. I don't think I've seen this exact build before. Interested to see what he's gonna follow this up with. Fiend harassment continues. No kills to be gotten, but certainly slowing down the DK. Still not level 2. Making this so annoying. As the Fiends are slow. They don't have the aura regen. The additional. Nice deny. Even keeping that experience away from the Death Knight. So once the TC's out, what's the plan? Creep this and expand? This would be the Asian way. Oh, nice. Coil just coming barely in time here to keep the Fiend alive. But the Farseer are now completely out of mana. Not even wolves can be summoned for the time being. And the TC is coming south. He's not moving north to the expansion. So, no tier 2 expo here. TC though, hero who's really thirsty for experience. On level 1, doesn't really do much. You want to get him to level 3 as quickly as you can. Raiders it is. Berserker strength. But why the Warmill? It's not like he was having lumber issues. At all. I really don't know. Final level 2 for the DK, making things a lot easier. And tier 3 rush, as well as the Slaughterhouse, because Happy forgot about a Ziggurat. Whoopsie. The macro slipping here a little bit for the Russian Undead King of Europe. Undead King, that is. I'm not saying he's the King of Europe. Happy and Hawk, and also Cash. Foggy and Hawk and also Cash would have to say something about that. Alright, here we go. Natural being crept up now. Is there a peon coming? There is. But it is quite a bit later than we would see Lyn, for example, do it. Could even be going for towers first, maybe, but probably not. Headhunter's coming out as well. Oh, Sentry Ward over here, seeing exactly what Happy is up to. And another Sentry here, so... Cash pretty much has entire map vision. Greater mana. Pretty damn good. It's going to be plenty of stomps from the TC here, who now hits level 2. Would love to get that level 3 somewhere. Could look for it here. Don't know if that's exactly enough. Good scout again by Happy. Always with the perfect timing. Knows what's up. Does he have the space, though, to go for the cancel? I don't think so. There's 2 Raiders and a TC already. That's so much lockdown. I don't think he can go over there. Looking for those kills. Oh, the illusion to block the Raider to keep the Ensnare away. That was pretty cool. And so Cash isn't going to reach the Fiends. Isn't going to be able to find these pickoffs before tier 3 for Happy is ready. That was a nice little play. Despite the Sentry Ward information, no kills gotten. At the moment here, Cash is pretty damn strong with his tier 2, with his masses of units. He's backing that strength up with an expansion, but with tier 3 finishing, the pendulum might be shifting towards the undead. As the tier 3 is a big advantage, obviously, over the tier 2. Lich, though, this is what I was talking about earlier. LR, very good map for undead 2nd and 3rd heroes to find levels. But here now, where can Happy really safely go to creep? This camp. And it's not really safe. It's a hard camp to tackle. And if you get creepjacked over here, it's definitely going to cost you a TP. But I think Happy has to do it. It's not like you can't creep. You can't go into the late game with a level 1 Lich. So he has to go to the gold mine. Cash should know this. Could look for a creepjack over there. But doesn't seem to be doing that at the moment. Instead he's creeping up himself. That is going to be level 3 TC for him, and that's a big deal. Needs to go for invols, I think. Happy loves focusing on the TC. So now, Cash is moving south, but the big item carrying creep is already gone. The Wand of Mana Stealing. And now, perhaps a bit of solo experience for the Lich. And in we go. Double level 3 Orc Heroes. Looking for the Ensnares onto the Fiends. Gets the one. And is he gonna commit? Lich only level 1. This is pretty damn weak. No healing here though on the Orc side. So the Raiders that drop low are pretty much gonna be low for a big stomp coming in against plenty of these Fiends and the DK. Chain Lightning securing the kill. Kodo Beast moving forward as well is looking pretty damn good for Cash. The best I think so far it's looked for him in this series. He gets the Devour and he gets out to safety as well. Finally the Destroyer is ready. Big Dispel coming in. But the other statue will not be so lucky as it gets taken out. Once again Burrow can't be detected as again there is no dust, would you believe it? Stomp coming in almost to disable the DK, but the damage is just too high. There's so much stuff. It's only tier 2, it's not the very strongest, but its numbers overwhelming. And this Lich here, still not level 2, finally hitting it now. Can the Nova really turn it around? Going for the Destroyer next, he has quite a bit of piercing damage here. The DK though, with plenty of mana left himself, saves that Destroyer one more time. Is this Cash overextending? It's looking pretty damn close. The Destroyer with the last spear down to 8 HP or something. Whew, that was a big deal. Being able to save that one. And Cash, with such a tremendous start to the fight, once again is turning out to be losing, hemorrhaging units towards the end of it. He might be able to afford it though. He has the expansion in the back, of course. Happy still down to 33 supply. But he's not losing anything anymore. He's only killing stuff anymore. No Ensnare makes this very easy to micro around. There's not much he has to fear. No lockdown, neither from Ensnare nor from the Orb of Lightning. One Raider's back. We have Ensnare again. Expo mining as well. And the mass rounds of production continue. TC was able to hold on to that greater mana as well. That's a big deal. And Happy. That was a... I almost thought it was over right here when the speed scroll in was being used and the Lich was only level 1. But Happy manages to hold on just barely by the skin of his teeth. But he's still kind of licking his wounds. DK is strong, Lich kind of, but not really. And most importantly, the army isn't big enough. He's got one Fiend that is not the time to fight. Whereas over here, we have plenty of armies still left. And Cash does not want to give him time to creep to Lich level 3. That would be a big level up. But the Headhunters here going far forward, and the Ghouls now have Frenzy. They have plenty of damage to be used, but there is no Dark Ranger, no silence, so these Stomps can be used freely by Cash. Once again, the Lich in trouble, but not in time was the Stomp. Here it comes with the Clarity and also the Mana Potion. More stuns here onto the undead side. Nice dodge from the Fiend. Gets that Devour off in the end, though. Once again, the Wolves coming in. 2 Destroyers in the air. Now, dispelling this pretty damn quickly. Level 4 on the DK. This time there is Death Pact. Use it already, though. And now he's surrounded. Can he get that kill? Stomp coming in. Focus Fire. Would love to have Chain Lightning, but he doesn't quite have it. A couple more right clicks. We have the Speed Scroll coming after. Seems like the Ensnare is on cooldown. And he has to TP out of this to keep the Death Knight alive. Cash also masterfully keeps all of his units alive there towards the end. Now able to heal him up again. 45 supply for him. 43 for Happy. But now level 3 Lich. And level 4 DK. But still, super low on the Fiends. 2 Destroyers in the air, good against the Wolves. And Raiders and Grunts, kind of. But there's also Headhunters against them. But not too many. The Ghouls are always doing a great job gnawing through the backlines of Headhunters so quickly. Now there is a Dark Ranger third. She's of course super underleveled here, where in the extreme late game, she has 0 experience.
A player's forces are under attack.
Double level 4s around the corner, those would be big level ups. Happy. Continuing to creep bits and tiny pieces here and there. And Cash is looking for the creep jack again. But Happy wasn't here. And that's probably was the intention of Happy. Not going for the predictable camp, but rather for the small one that he won't be most likely getting punished for. Cash going into the undead main. Is that a necessity? I don't know. Silence meeting on the TC. Coil and the Nova. Or was it only the Nova? Going for the Lich next, by the way. He's dropping super low with the Chain Lightning. Happy was not expecting this. Getting rid of the silence with the invul on the TC. Gets that second hero kill. And now the damage drops by so much. Level up for the Farseer. Level up for the TC. Is right around the corner. And there it is. Now he has the better aura and the better Chain Lightning. And he's getting the Ensnares on the Destroyers as well. This is looking really good now for Cash. This must be his game. If one game is his, this should be it. More Ensnares, more Focus Fire, and more kills. Statues netted to the ground. Another one will be taken out. The Destroyers in the air. Not too easy to get rid of them, but there's still plenty of piercing damage left. One more Stomp as well, by the way. He's pretty much in the perfect position for one. Going for it right there. Trying to take out the Destroyer before the coil, and that one almost worked. He saves it up, heals it up one more time, but it still gets taken out thanks to that ensnare. And now just so much orc stuff. If there was a lich here, maybe he could hold his ground, but without, it's so difficult to do. However, only one more raider, only one more ensnare, so Happy can kite back and forth pretty much to his heart's content. So Cash's gonna retreat for now. 500 gold, 60 supply. He actually devoured a skeleton there. Well, better than nothing. Lich still halfway. Only halfway through. As Cash playing a pretty aggressive game here, but playing it very, very well indeed. Finding the openings, finding the kills. Scourge Boneshime is usually always very good for orcs. In this army though, there's not even that much melee. And that is melee, doesn't have the most right-click DPS. It's a bit of healing though. Tiny bits here and there. Happy taking a risk now, going far out onto the map without a TP. Creeping with his heroes that are still alive and the destroyers. Has to take a risk, of course. Realizes he's far behind. But Cash is having none of it. Oh my god, he's gonna get this altar? The Lich should be getting out, but where's he gonna get out? The Raider already in position to be able to ensnare right away. Should the Lich see the light of day? He does! Doesn't quite ensnare it right away though, so the Lich is at least to the back of the shop. Scroll of speed onto everything. Jesus Christ, it's so much stuff! Destroyers dispelling most of it. Silence onto the TC. Can't stomp, I mean, at least for the time being. But it's so hard to find these kills. One destroyer dead already. He takes out that Windrider pretty damn quickly. One coil coming in towards the Dark Ranger, healing her back up. But the DK is super low on mana as well. The ghouls have all but disappeared. Ensnares coming in over and over. Destroyer taking out again. Not quite. One coil will at least delay his fate. But what about the Dark Ranger? Ensnare, focus, and she dies. Level 2 hero falls. Double level up. And now we have the level 5 TC. Level 3 Stomp, the strongest level 3 spell in the game. Not too much mana though. Spirit Wolves being summoned as well. Really hard to deal with those. And it's the GG. It will not be a 3-0 sweep here. Happy. Gives up a map and well done to Cash. Playing a very strong game there on Amazonia. And our next one will be Concealed Hill. I didn't see the videos. We should still have Echo Isles, Twisted Meadows. Twisted being vetoed by the Undead, of course. Should be, anyways. What's the last one? Terranas, yeah, that's right. Cash getting stronger from game to game, right? In the first one, really nothing worked out for him. Second one was really close. And the third one, he got his victory. Now, warmed up perhaps. Happy seems to be struggling with a bit of a high ping here. At around 100. Oh, regame it appears. Wait, what? What happened? What do you mean, what happened? I don't know what you're talking about, I'm afraid. Alright. Ping seems to be a little bit better now. Concealed Hill, the map that we see the least I think, in pro competitions outside of Twisted Meadows, which we very, very rarely only see. Being pretty much unplayable for human, and not too good for undead either. Top right, we have the best orc in Europe, Cash, against the best undead in Europe, Happy, in the bottom left. Going for a Ted Fiend opening here once again. But what's this gonna be? Farseer Harassment, I've seen here plenty of times, actually. Blade Master Pimping isn't too easy here. Yes, you can get a claw over here, but only slippers over here. This one you cannot creep for a very long time. This one is Sentry Wards. This one is a tome. This one is a tome. So that's this half of the map. So, yeah, really hard to stack the blade. Farseer creeping is fairly well doable. The wolves are fairly effective over here and here. And, I don't know. This one's kind of hard. It's probably going to be a blade, though, right? No! Farseer again, dude. Third game, right? We had Farseer on Northern Isles, Blade Master on LR, yeah, and Farseer on AZ. 3 out of 4 times. Alrighty. Over here's the Death Knight, of course. There's not really any other choice. Usually the creep routes look like you go for this one first, for level 1.6 or whatever it is, and hope for a clause. And then towards the green cap, that's going to be level 2 guaranteed, and then a Tome of Experience even, possibly. If you're lucky enough. Shop very far back. Oh, he's going for the turtles. Really? Alright. DK towards the middle. Is gonna be going for the green camp first. Wait, this is a yellow camp? How is this a yellow camp? I guess it's right on the edge of being yellow. Tech-wise, the orc is ahead by a little bit, but not much at all. Happy's gonna follow suit here momentarily. Skeletons being sent out to scout. He has no idea so far what Cash is playing. Neither is Cash, honestly. Neither player has scouted yet. And Cash changing his mind, going towards the right side and then circling back towards the green. Happy scouting for an expansion immediately. Really? Is that even doable? Isn't that camp way too hard for 2 grunts? Well, confirms that there is no expo. Will be level 2 for the Farseer. And a Tome of Experience. Should have leveled to level 2 first for perfect min-maxing. But whatever. Level 2 for the DK as well. Fiends will be starting to come out. The base is not walled off, by the way. Probably not intentional. I have watched plenty of Happy streams in my day, and it looks like most of the time Happy is kind of placing his buildings whatever. Walling off the Acolytes, yes, but other than that, I feel like not too much thought goes into it. And the thing is, he doesn't need it. He just controls so well. The base doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, so slight tech advantage. Second grunt. Where's the second grunt?
A player's forces are
Is he staying on 1 grunt only? He's seriously staying on 1 grunt. Isn't that super weird? What's he gonna do with all his cash? No pun intended. Is he gonna rush tier 3 and like double bestiary and 3rd hero or something? 1,000 gold now for him. Shadowhunter double
Player's
bestiary.
forces are under attack.
He still has 400 gold. Doesn't have the lumber for a tech if that's what he wanted. I like that he was being annoying here with the Farseer and the Wolves. He knows his army is far smaller than the opponent, so if he goes into a creeping game, he's going to be much slower at gathering experience and items. Taking a look in the main, sees the tier 2 and the tier 3 tech now.
A player's forces are under attack.
Like, Cash still has 600 gold. He's got so much extra gold. Oh, there we go. A bit of a creepjack here, but there's not really too much on Cash's side. This is not threatening at all. It's just one grunt and a Farseer. Camp is gone. Experience is taken. And the DK now almost level 3. Cash brings him towards the green camp. That would be level 3 indeed. Shadow getting... I guess it kind of works out with the resources. You go for double Wind Riders right away and a couple of items on the Shadow.
A player's forces
And
are
yeah,
under attack.
that works out, I guess. Alright. There we go. Level 3 acquired. Hoping for a Tome of Experience here himself. And he gets it. That's a nice greeting to the Lich here, as well as the mantle and the gloves. Must feel welcome here in his early days on Concealed Hill. Yeah, this build actually works out perfectly towards when you're going for the 4th Wind Rider.
A player's forces are under
There's no web yet, I don't think. It's coming in now. He saw the first Wind Riders already. But the thing is, with 2 Wind Riders, well, the damage could be enough to go for the Fiends, but of course the Orc doesn't know how far along web is. And if there's web, you don't want to be flying in with 2 Wind Riders. As we saw in map number 1, you may not even want to fly in with 4 Wind Riders. 6 Wind Riders, that's better. 8 Wind Riders, that's really good. 10 Wind Riders, oh yeah, baby, that's when we want to fight. Ideally, you want to find Fiend pickoffs even before that, and not lose too many Wind Riders yourself.
forces are under
But
attack.
can't know whether you can do that or not. So both players here now back to their corners of the map, creeping up more. Lich getting level 2 and the parry up, making him more tanky. Not too bad, not too bad. Is Cash gonna be going for an expansion? There's a peon moving over. That is a pretty big tell. The answer seems to be yes. Peon Expo, Wind Rider run by with scrolls could be his game plan here. Happy has a sentry in the main. If he was paying really close attention, he may have seen the peon moving over, but yeah, that would be paying extremely close attention. Probably not. But he's moving towards the middle of the map now, pretty much in position to go for an attack towards the upcoming expansion. But you want a high number of Fiends. 4 isn't really too high. He's got the orb now, though. That might be getting creepjacked. Cash likes to go for his offensive scrolls of speed. He has 2 available right now. Only level 2 Shadow, though. And level 3 Farseer. Against 3/2 heroes. Is Happy really gonna go for the red camp? There could be Wind Riders right above the trees scouting him out. This is a little bit scary. There could be a run by happening right now. He's double ensnared already. That looks like a bit of a risk from Happy. But he's not getting punished. Instead, Cash is over at the fountain, getting his own level 3 Shadow. Sobi Mask for him. Excellent find. And Farseer getting a little closer to level 4. It's still pretty far away, though. Expansion as well. Still fairly far away. 700 gold for Cash. When's he gonna start producing into upkeep? It's taken forever to take out this creep camp, by the way. What the hell? And now he is getting jacked. There's a TP here if Cash wants to move away from this. And Happy just lets him be at the fountain. That's fine, I'm going to cancel your expo. Or is he? Threatening the turnaround. First ensnare to lock down a fiend. Wants to buy time, wants to drag him back to his fountain. And get more cycles of production coming in. 2 Wind Riders are on their way from the main. Happy, not yet in an upkeep. Going for the Ziggurat number 5, but still gonna take a while. Heal scroll on the Lich now. Quick reactions by Cash, not flying those Wind Riders blindly into the welcoming arms of the Fiends and the web. And now it is 7 Wind Riders, I believe. In we go! Farseer very far forward, by the way. We have the silence onto the Shadowhunter, no spells from him. Farseer dropping extremely low! Has to double-click TP out of there, just barely surviving. In the end, it will be a 1-for-1 trade, I think it was. 1 Fiend for 1 Wind Rider, if I saw that correct. Farseer living a dangerous life, and that TP now is probably going to be gone forever. We'll have to be very careful. Wait, did neither player buy that invul in the shop? Are you serious? It's still in here. Cash, please! He needs that invul, if you ask me. But guess what Expo's done? Expo's mining. Right. No way. He's not getting the invul? He's got triple heal scroll of speed, by the way. It's been a while since I last saw this. He's going for a counterattack. When his own expansion is threatened, he wants to go for the Acolytes. Run by, shoot him from the skies. Wait, he's creeping? What? Alright. Aiming for the next big item pickup. Red Drake here. Flute would be the best. Zoe Mask number 2, not too bad either. Very good, actually. Is he just gonna let this Expo go? He got around 400 gold out of it, so it's not that bad. He's just gonna let it go. Is he? Yeah, it's too late now. Doesn't have a TP. Expansion coming up here for Happy as well. Wolf is gonna be scouting it. Does he have the damage to cancel this? I'm not so sure. Happy moving towards the main. Down by 6 supply, by the way. And only 5 Fiends. That is not too much. Fiend number 6 coming in as well, though. Boros starting to fall. He doesn't have reinforced defenses. Makes this very scary. And Cash is continuing to creep. Level 4 now for the Shadow. Level 2 Hex, pretty damn strong as long as it doesn't get dispelled, of course. Oh man, these Boros are taking a thrashing. And the Expo seems to have gone unscouted. In we go. First couple of ensnares leading. No Hex on the DK here to start things off. Farseer, Shadowhunter rather, may have been out of position. Too far away. Throw the Beast coming in. Oh my god. He gets a dispel off. Full healing with the help of the coil there as well. He's focusing everything onto this destroyer, but it's not getting taken out. One more Fiend is gonna fall. The coil there just barely too late. And now the DK, really low mana, using Bone of Mana Stealing, has one more coil to be used. Cash also taking quite a few losses. Not many Wind Riders are left at all. Only 2, in fact, are left standing. Big dispel once again healing up this destroyer, but it will fall in the end. But the last 2 Wind Riders have been webbed. Another Nova to ensure the kill, and that's it. No more air for Cash. Having to contend with his heroes and the Grunts and the Raiders. Not too much mana, by the way, on the Orc side either. Still a statue standing here, providing so much regen. Happy even has an expansion in the back of this, but he may be winning the fight in the game right here, and he does. GG! It wasn't a 3-0, but it was once again Happy victorious.